H and a mix. Lakers haters. Lakers haters. Lakers haters. Lakers haters. Ever since the Inglewood form, the Lakers perform, piercing through the storms, dropping the bomb, blowing up the Staples Center, putting teams in the blender. Give it something to remember, the greatest contenders. Ever since the Inglewood form, the Lakers perform, piercing through the storms and dropping the bombs, blowing up the Staples Center, putting teams in the blender. Give it something to remember, the greatest contenders, hands down. And say what you say. This is LA, a slam dunk in the NBA with some Magic Johnson stomping across the courts, back and forth, passing the ball to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and other players wilding out. The ladies cheerleading like Paula Abdul. I thought you knew this is what you call super ballers. Ever since the Inglewood form, the Lakers perform, piercing through the storms and dropping the bombs, blowing up the Staples Center, putting teams in the blender. Give it something to remember, the greatest contenders, storming out the 80s, across the 90s, decades of game, championship galore throughout the years. More fame for the names like Kobe and his homie Shaq, blocking with three-pointer shot. He's giving a new millennium slap, breezing through a change of players still, bouncing the ball, taking a few more championships, even with Gasol. Ever since the Inglewood form, the Lakers perform, piercing through the storms and dropping the bombs, blowing up the Staples Center, putting teams in the blender. Give it something to remember, the greatest contenders, keeping the Clippers at arm's length with footwork, never throw in the towel. When Lakers see matters worse, where another generation stepped up, started playing, claiming the time to be reigning again. So what you saying? Lonzo Ball until the call for King LeBron James came with shoes tied, stomping the game, raising the name. Ever since the Inglewood form, the Lakers perform, piercing through the storms and dropping the bombs, blowing up the Staples Center, putting teams in the blenders. Give it something to remember, the greatest contenders. Ever since the Inglewood form, the Lakers perform, piercing through the storms and dropping the bombs and blowing up the Staples Center, putting teams in the blender. Give it something to remember, the greatest contenders. Lakers haters, yeah. Lakers haters. Lakers haters, yeah. Keep hating on the Lakers, yeah. LA.